Randy Robertson is one of Manitoba's and Western Canada's most well-known and respected players and coaches. Randy, obviously got your start in Hamiota, but before we get into the details of minor baseball, you hold the position as a member of one of baseball's more well-known and renowned baseball families. And I want to know from a baseball and from your own perspective, what it was like growing up in the Robertson household.
Well, it was interesting. We had Bill would stay with us. The two American guys stayed with us a lot, and certainly Jeff and I and Kim and Carrie was, baseball was our life in the summer, and in our latter years I was going to university. But yeah, it was a busy household, anywhere from selling tickets to doing raffles. My sisters and would sell tickets and take money at the gates, and my mom was there and dad, and it was just a huge part of our lives.
So obviously you got a lot of support and encouragement anytime you played and as you pursued your own career from a family perspective.
Yes, mom and dad were fantastic. Mom coached me when dad coached the Red Sox, and she coached us growing in minor baseball, and the hours and hours in the batting cage, brother Jeff and I, and lots of arguing and fighting and the whole bit. But my sisters were encouraged and followed us around and came to all our games, and as did my two great aunts and grandparents. We just had a tremendous amount of support in our family.
And that support and that effort and commitment started to lead to some important and impressive accomplishments, championships teams, provincial championship teams at the minor levels over almost a decade, from the early 70s to the mid 80s.
Yeah, I had the privilege of, we had several great teams in Hamiota. We'll combine surrounding areas and kind of an all-star team of rural Manitoba. But I also had the privilege of being picked up by Gladwin Scott in the Souris Beaver Championships, as well as brother Jeff and I got picked up by St. Boniface when unfortunately they beat us in Hamiota, and we won the Western Canadian Championships with St. Boniface. So had a lot of success at the provincial and national competitions.
What about some of the coaches and some of the leaders you encountered along the way as you were building your career? Any there stand out in your mind particularly?
Well, again, I go back to, mom and dad, certainly instrumental in coaching us, but another, great leader that coached Jeff and I for quite a few years at the summer games, Mike Labossiere, just a great role model, and it's still a very good family friend. So certainly he was instrumental in my career growing up.
What about some of the great players you saw on your team and on others? Obviously, when you compete at the high level, that's one of the things that happen, is you get to see how good some of these guys really are.
Yeah, I played with some fantastic players in Hamiota, and again, first and foremost, Jeff and brother Jeff and Mike Labossiere. Kerry Lowe was another great player that, fantastic, as was his father. Ron Ramsey, I could name, a number of players that, I had the privilege of playing with, honestly.
Your resume of success is pretty long and pretty deep. Is there something that stands out in particular there that you might be a little more proud of, or that's a little more memorable for you than the others?
I think the team we had in the 1985 Summer Games, we were ranked 10th going into the tournament, and one by one, we had a lot of country people and then a few people from Winnipeg as well, of course, on our team, and ended up being great friends with a lot of them. But just one by one, we won each game, and then all of a sudden we're in the gold medal game. And I still to this day hold firm, I think we should have won that. It was a controversial call, and Jeff, we thought he scored, and they said he was out, and we lost in extra innings. But that was a memorable, we won a silver medal, which for Manitoba, and again, seeded 10th going into, we were very proud of.
In addition to all the success, and you've mentioned the great and lasting friendships that have happened, what has baseball given to you? What have you taken out of this sport?
It taught me, I think, a lot about leadership and a lot about teamwork. And again, lifelong friends of great people. So I think, all sports, I played a lot of hockey as well. And what it does, it builds you as a person, and it makes you a team player where you care about other people. And again, a lot of leadership it taught me, I believe.
Judging from your background, I'm assuming that the move from player to coach was a pretty fluid and easy one.
Yeah, actually, I had to end my career fairly young because I moved on to business, and it was not. It was started in the U.S. where I started, but I coached as well as played. The last few years, so I didn't just necessarily coach alone.
Yeah.
I taught younger kids all the way up. When I was even as young as 14, I was coaching girls baseball and helping them with that. And with my mom, we coached a couple teams. So I didn't necessarily coach separately, but I coached the last 3 or 4 years as well as played.
Coaching and having success as a coach it feels a little different even than having success as a player, doesn't it?
It does. It almost sometimes though when you're coaching, and I coach kids hockey, my son played hockey at rep level, and it makes you want to get out there and play a lot more than being sitting back. So it's a different position altogether.
I've leaned a lot on your family connections here, and for good reason. But you, Randy, are being inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame on your achievements as an individual. What's that mean to you?
We got inducted as a family, which was very important, but I think to be recognized as an individual takes it to a whole new level. It certainly with pride and all my family here to see it makes it, more of an achievement, and very proud of it.
Member of the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame, Randy Robertson.